Welcome back to another show of the Wide Format Sales Mastery Series. Of course, we're sponsored by Canon Image Prograph Wide Format Printers and our national sponsor, which is National Azon. So far, we've talked about the opportunity in wide format, how Canon compares to the competition, how to identify the opportunities, and why selling workflow is more important than selling hardware. Today, I thought it would be a good opportunity to discuss the one subject that scares many salespeople: money, right? More specifically, cost. But here's what I've learned with more than 46 years in this industry. Customers rarely buy the cheapest printers. They buy the printer that costs them the least to own. Today, I'm going to show you how to have that conversation and stop talking price. One of the biggest mistakes I see salespeople make is leading with the purchase price. Of course, the client will ask, how much is it? The salesperson immediately starts defending the number or gives the number out in advance. Instead, change the conversation. You may want to ask, can we first look at what you're spending today? And that leads you into a completely different discussion, because customers don't buy printers. They buy a way to reduce their costs, improve productivity, and get the work done faster. Keep in mind, architects and engineers, time saved equals hard dollars. So we don't talk pages in our industry, well, in wide format. We talk about square feet. Wide format is different than office copiers. We don't measure usage by pages. We measure it by the square feet for wide format. Here's a quick refresher that we had in previous shows. A C-size drawing is 18 by 24 inches, which equals 3 square feet. A D-size drawing is 24 by 36, which equals 6 square feet. An E-size drawing is 36 by 48, which equals 12 square feet. It's easy math. We all learned that in the 5th grade. 3 times 4 gives you the number of square feet in an E-size drawing. When a customer tells you, we print about 100 D-size drawings every week, well, you immediately know that's 600 square feet, because they're doing D-size and it's 24 by 36, and they just said they're doing 100 pages, right? So immediately, now you're speaking the language of wide format. Outsourcing costs money. So we can use a real example. An engineering firm prints approximately 400 square feet every week. Many firms outsource those drawings. Maybe in most cases, it could be color because they have just a black line printer or a black line wide format. Typical outsourcing costs can be run between $1.50 and $3 per square foot, depending upon turnaround time, media, and color. Even at $2 per square feet, that's $800 every week, $3,200 a month for over 4 weeks. Now you compare that to printing in-house on a Canon image prograph, operating costs are dramatically lower. That's when clients begin asking the right question. Maybe we should own one on our own, would be one of those questions. As we look into it a little bit further, we can look at the total cost of ownership. This is where the great salespeople separate themselves from the average salespeople. Don't compare prices. Compare ownership costs. or total cost of operation. What you want to talk about is the equipment, the ink, the paper/media, the maintenance, electricity usage, and if they've had downtime with their current machines. You may also want to think about operator time involved and service. When customers look at the complete picture, Canon image prograph becomes a very compelling solution. Much of your competition is going to be against toner-based machines. So I'll talk a little bit about the toner systems. Many AEC firms have been using LED black line systems for years. They could be the KIP, they could be the Canon, they could be the Ricoh, they could be some of the older OSEs. They're all excellent machines. But today's Canon image prograph systems have changed the conversation. Canon inkjet offers instant on printing, zero warm-up time, no fusers, no developers, no toner cartridges, and low power consumption. And when that's all wrapped up, what it means for the end user is it's simplified maintenance. There's not a lot behind it that the end user has to do. For many engineering firms, those advantages matter every single day. Let's look at a real world example. Let's compare two systems. The Canon image prograph TZ32000. It prints up to 4 D-size drawings every minute. The MSRP is in between $23,000 to $24,000. Now compare that to the KIP C740 color LED system. That MSRP is anywhere from $36,000 to $37,000. That's a difference of more than $13,000. So what does the client get for the extra $12,000? Well, they'll get up to 2 additional D-size pages per minute. Then you've got to ask the client a simple question. Do you really need 6 D-size prints every minute? Wouldn't 4 be okay for you? Most engineering firms don't. Most produce drawings throughout the day, not thousands every hours. And think about that. For lower volume firms, municipalities, architectural offices, civil engineers, and surveyors, Canon often becomes the better economic decision. You're buying the speed you actually need. You're not paying for speed you'll rarely use. Then leasing changes everything. Here's another mistake salespeople make. They ask the clients to compare purchase prices instead of comparing monthly costs. If a customer spends $3,000 every month outsourcing drawings and a Canon lease costs substantially less, they're already spending the money. It's already in their budget. You're simply redirecting where that budget goes. That's a much easier conversation with you and the client. So when you're in the field, here's something you can use tomorrow. Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, before we compare your equipment, let's compare what you're spending today versus what it will cost you to own the solution. Then you want to stop talking, let the customer think, maybe let them do the math in their head. When the numbers make sense, that sale becomes much easier. So if you're going to get out on the road today and you'd like to take on this short assignment, visit 3 engineering firms and ask how many square feet they're producing each month. Ask what percentage are they outsourcing. Calculate what they're spending today for them. And then compare it with a Canon image prograph solution. Again, don't sell the printer, sell the economics. Clients don't wake up wanting a new printer. They wake up wanting to save money, improve productivity, finish projects faster. When AEC companies can finish a product faster, that allows them to take on an additional job, maybe one job that year, or two jobs, or maybe even 10 jobs that year. Then how much money has that Canon image prograph delivered to them because they were able to take on the additional work? So with the support of National Azon, dealers have the products, logistics, and expertise to help clients make the right investment. This is Art Post. This has been episode 6 of the Wide Format Sales Mastery Series. Join me next week as we explore another strategy to help you become more successful selling wide format machines. Until then, keep in mind, don't sell the purchase price. Sell the total cost of ownership. Because it's not just print anymore, it's project power. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please keep in mind that Canon image prograph, wide format printers, and National Azon, and please reach out to them for support.